You are now listening to
the Primal Armor Podcast.
This episode is sponsored by Executive Fit LLC. They build custom deadlift platforms, custom barbell storage pieces, and make indoor and outdoor signage for your home or corporate gym. Every platform that pairs with a rack is customized to that specific rack, so everything fits nice and clean. And they ship nationwide. Each platform has a logo applied in a way that makes it impossible to peel up from wear and tear. They even make custom nameplates for your squat rack. Visit executivefitllc.com to request a quote and see what's available on their store. That's executivefitllc.com to upgrade your deadlift game today. Welcome back to episode 64 of the Primal Armor Podcast. To branch off of last week's episode again, we're going to be talking a little bit more about nutrition and what it takes to take control of our diet. And today we're going to be focusing on fasting. For those of you who don't know where the term breakfast got its name from, it's literally in the name. It's meant to break our fast. Fasting is just a period of time of which we're not eating calories. And fasting can look a lot of different ways. It can be a one-day fast or for 24 hours, and it can even be a multiple-day fast, like a 48 or a 72-hour fast. Or it can even be intervals throughout the day, like a 16-hour fast or a 12-hour fast, and you can only eat in that other 8 to 12-hour window. And you technically fast for about 8 hours at night or so when you're sleeping. And that's why they call it breakfast in the morning. But to get the true effects of a fast, you need to extend it a little bit longer than 8 hours. And fasting's been scientifically proven to lower insulin levels, boost your cellular regeneration, increase your fat burning, boost your metabolism, aid in reducing inflammation in the body, and help prevent that brain fog. And that's a huge thing right there, because just as an adult, there's so many things that can weigh on you, from work, relationships, friends, family, anything like that. And that can just help turn your brain to mush. So anything you can do to help prevent that brain fog is so beneficial. The human body used to hunt and forage to eat back in the day. And so we were built to fast while we were looking for our next meal. And it's only been in very recent times where we actually get multiple meals in a day. And that's why fasting can be so beneficial to your body. It's like a nice reset. Things like bloating and skin problems have all been proven to be improved after bouts of fasting, because a lot of these things stem from inflammation in the body. So since fasting helps reduce inflammation, it also helps reduce those symptoms. In the first 8 or so hours of your fast, your body digests all of its food and your stomach becomes empty. So your blood sugar begins to lower and you begin producing more insulin. And after this, your body starts to using the glycogen that's stored in your liver for energy. And this is why you don't have to eat every few hours, because your body stores enough energy to survive. But once your glycogen is depleted, that's when your body starts creating ketones and targeting your fat cells for energy. And this is why fasting can help burn fat. Fats are a majority of what our brain uses to function, so this also helps with that brain fog. And while you're fasting, your body also creates human growth hormone to help with the healing process and inflammation in the body. And it also starts attacking damaged cells and begins to destroy or repair them, which in return make your body healthier. And these are a lot of different things that happen in your body that are advantages of fasting. But that doesn't mean that it's easy. Most people aren't comfortable with being hungry, which is why they're constantly running to the fridge or running to the snack drawer, because they don't know what true hunger is, because they're constantly eating. But that's why it's a perfect reset for the body. Most people think that they're hungry when they're actually just being bored. And if they actually knew what being hungry felt like, then they would be able to make more educated decisions on their food choices. I've tried this before. I used to fast for 16 hours and then only eat in a short 8-hour window while I was at work. This was super difficult in those last few hours of the fast, but I finally learned what being hungry actually felt like. And this made it easier to say no to snacking when it was boredom behind it, because I actually knew that I wasn't truly hungry, because I had felt what that felt like before. And I think that was actually the most beneficial part of fasting for me, was just to understand what my baseline level was for hunger. And so I wasn't just running every time I was bored to the fridge or the snack drawer. All the other perks were nice, especially breaking through that brain fog. but now I know what being hungry actually feels like, and I'm snacking a lot less. It's something that I think every single person should try at least just once in their life, even if it's just for a very short period of time. It's not something that I personally could do long term, but it was a great experiment. And I might return to it again in the future if I'm feeling like I don't remember what that feeling was like, just to keep me accountable. Because over time, you tend to forget things. And the longer time goes on, the less that I'm forgetting exactly what that felt like to be hungry. So yeah, this is something that I might return to in the future because, like I said, it's something that everyone should try. And if I'm forgetting what that feeling feels like, then I need to go back and try it again so I know what that level is at. So I'm not just boredom snacking all the time. So this is something I challenge you guys to try. And I don't think anyone can truly say they have a hold of their diet until they've tried fasting at least once. Eating is way too emotional, and it's too easy to eat when you're bored or you just think you're hungry. So that's why I challenge you to try it, because that's what it will be, a challenge. But it'll totally be worth it, and you'll thank yourself for the struggle later. If you want someone to blame, blame me. So when you're in those hard times feeling super hungry, just like I was in those last few hours of that fast, if you need someone to blame, blame me. Because I'm always calling people out almost every single week on this podcast. But it's to help push you and hold you accountable so you can be a better you for yourself and all of those around you. So this time I'm challenging you to fast and see how it can change your life, because I know it did for me. Before we end today's episode, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Anchor Podcasts. They distribute this podcast, you guys, in just about any platform you may try to find us on, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. All the recording, editing, and final touches are also done through Anchor, which makes getting the Primal Armor podcast out to you guys very quick, easy, and mobile. You guys can also submit questions or voice messages that I can add to our next episode. Go download the Anchor.fm app today to check out what it's all about. I just want to thank you for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you back here again next week.